Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and still joining you on today's edition of Cairo Local Time. And I'm delighted to be joined this afternoon by my guests here in the studio, where we'll be talking about the Presidential Leadership Program, the empowerment of the youth, a very important topic and a very important agenda for President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and his government. And I'm delighted to be joined this afternoon in the studio by my guests. I'll start with Sarah Mohammed Ma'moon, who's a member of the Presidential Leadership. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
And of course, Dr. Mohammed Awad Abdelaziz, also a member of the Presidential Leadership Program.
Hello.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Now, a holistic approach to empowering the youth. This is the main target and the main aim of the Presidential Youth Program. Now, let's talk a bit how you entered this program. How did it work? How did you get to know about it? How did you apply? How were you selected? Let's start with you, Sarah.
Okay, first of all, I'm really glad to meet you today.
Likewise.
And for the Presidential Leadership Program, actually it was my unique experience of my life. I applied after see about it in the news board of one of the Egyptian channels. And actually I asked my husband, what's your opinion? And he encouraged me a lot to apply. And then we applied, and after about 1 month, I knew that I passed the first phase. It was very great news. And then I was told to continue the phases and get to exams and interview. It was the final phase. Actually, I was very excited, same time very afraid. And I'd like to add something. I was pregnant in my 9th month while I did the final interview. It was with some of Egyptian experts, academic professions, and some of key persons in the Egyptian society. And the interview actually was great. They asked me about many topics in Egypt, whatever, in education, in national topics, and in everything, and it was positive. Then we took like a hold, and we have been invited to an event in Opera House. We didn't know that we will meet the president actually, and we gathered very early morning, and my husband was with me. And suddenly they told us, you'll meet the president. All of us felt excited, wondered what we'll do, what we'll see. And then we met him in the Opera House. He was like a dream actually, and he inaugurated the Bank of Knowledge and launched the Youth Year, in which the Presidential Leadership Program
was launched, right?
Yes.
And Dr. Mohammed, same question to you. How did you come to be part of this program?
Actually, I would like to thank you first for this opportunity.
Thank you very much for coming.
First of all, I was planning to do a master degree of business or something
Even though you're a medical doctor, right?
Yeah, something parallel to my career. Then my mother told me, oh look, there is a new program, it's presidential, and I didn't know what is it, it's something new. So I said to myself, okay, let's make it, let's try. From the first moment, I thought it's a very professional program. From the moment we applied for it online, everything was in a complete professional way. And then I proceeded the steps forward, and it's okay, and I made it.
Good. Dr. Mohammed, let me ask you, as a member of the youth population in Egypt, what are some of the main challenges that you face?
The main challenge that I faced during the program is that for the people to accept that it is not a political program. It is something different, it's something unique. There is a true intention from the country to embed the youth into the arms of the government. They are what we know about them, they are the third cluster. They are the ones who are active, who think young, who haven't get the opportunity, who haven't got many chances. Just they are a lack of confidence. So there is a very good intention from the presidency to enter the youth to this field, and we felt that.
You can feel it as members of the presidential.
I'm really honored to be part of this community.
That's great. Sarah, tell me, what has this, being a member of this presidential youth program, how has it added to you? What have you gained? What have you benefited as taking part in this great initiative?
Actually, the program was a great aid in my life. Let me say it made me actually know something about myself I didn't know before. It made me feel that motherhood actually is greater than any natural laws. It gives you the power to continue in anything. And as for the program, I was studying hard in parallel with taking care of my first child, who actually came to life 4 days only before the start of the program. And actually, despite of this, I didn't take any vacation. I continued and started the program from the first day. I studied hard, made many projects, joined workshops, conferences, and also the simulation of the Egyptian government.
So let's talk a bit about the simulation of the Dr. Mohammed, you also took part in the simulation?
Yeah, I simulated the role of Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research. We also, there is something good about the simulation, that we also simulated the parliament. We as ministers, we objected our vision, and the parliament has the right to confirm or to redeem our projects. That was a very nice experiment. And I was lucky that the parliament confirmed to my thoughts.
Oh, really? So tell me, did it help you get a wider understanding of how the government actually works, how decisions are come about, how the whole system is operational? Did it change your perception?
Of course, totally, 180 degrees. That when you see the matter from outside, it's different when you are in possession. You know, everything is easy when you look at it from the outside. You know, you can solve it this way. Why we can just copy what Finland, what the USA just did? No, it is not that way. We don't have the strength points they have. We have many weak points than they have. We don't have many opportunities. We don't have great circumstances that we can proceed to their level. So when you are in a position, it's a very complete thing.
Sarah, you said your baby arrived just 4 days before you took part, but that didn't deter you. Now we're going to be showing a few pictures that you've shared with us today, but let me ask you, here we go. So you took...
this is my child. It's his first award instead of his mother from the military academy after finishing my course there. They were very cooperative with me.
So how was your experience having your child, a newborn, attending lectures and seminars? It must, I mean, were they receptive, or was it something different for them?
It's a very positive experience. They were actually very cooperative with me. They didn't any time refuse to make him join the lecture with me, and I still make my focus.
That's great.
So,
tell me, Sarah, do you work?
Yeah.
How do you see the preparations of or the acceptance of women in the workforce, especially, I mean, yes, there's maternity leave, 3 or 4 months now, which is paid leave, but is there enough being done to accommodate women, especially after they've had their children, back into the workforce, or do you think more could be done?
Actually, I think more will be done this year.
Why is that?
After President Sisi declared that this year will be the year of the Egyptian woman, and the last years actually helped us a lot to join the society in different fields, whatever in ministers or NGO or anything that relates to the executive life of Egypt.
Dr. Mohammed, let me ask you, how do you assess the youth's participation in Egyptian society in general? Apart now, outside from the presidential leadership program, you are a member of the Egyptian youth in Egypt. Do you see that the youth are aware and very involved, or do you see that more could be done in order to attract the youth to become more knowledgeable with regards to Egyptian society as a whole?
Okay, before I answer this question, let me just say one thing. We consider Hamza as our 501 member.
Hamza's your baby's name. Yes.
Yeah.
And you are his doctor, you're his pediatrician. Okay, so.
About the youth, President El-Sisi declared 2017 as the year of youth. And we can see the Minister of Youth, he's doing very great efforts. You can see many instructions, many facilities that are every day objected to the youth. That's number one. Number two, we have seen the parliament. It consists of about 30% of youth before under the age of 30. That's great. And why we are not participating as youth? It is a matter of self-trust. You know, there are many challenges. There are sporadic trials that may fail, and that will make depression to the surroundings, friends, to the surrounding community. So they tend to make a job, not a career. And I think that there are many ways to encourage them to participate in the life, because youth is not a matter of time of age. Youth is a state of mind. And it is not just you are 30 or 40 or 35 years that you are a youth. No, it is how young is your mind. That's what really matters.
Sarah, let me ask you about the influence of the youth's participation in both the government and the parliament. How effective, as Dr. Mohammed said, there is now a 30% rate of youth participation in the Egyptian parliament, which is unprecedented. We've always seen members of the parliament above a certain
You
age.
mean at the simulation?
No, and in real Egyptian government and the parliament. Do you see that you are well represented? Do you see that enough representation is available for the Egyptian youth? Are your issues taken to the forefront by the government and the parliament?
Actually, a long time ago and in the last years, no one support Egyptian youth as it should be. But after President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, they pay more and more attention to the efforts of Egyptian, not only the presidential leadership program, but in many projects and entrepreneurship. They push them to work and participate more in the society, not only sitting on social media, but to participate in real life. Actually, what we need as youth is to be backed by the experienced people, because we can't make anything for sure without them. We need to cooperate together to build the progress of our country, especially for the coming generation, and build the sustainable development.
Indeed.
Yes.
Dr. Mohammed, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has said that investing in the Egyptian youth will prevent them from, as you said, steering into other dangerous fields. For example, desperation, depression, all these lead to issues regarding extremism, fundamentalism. How far do you think the leadership program has fulfilled this goal of preventing Egyptian youth or deterring Egyptian youth from delving into these dangerous waters?
Well, the presidential leadership program is a unique program that it's not, as I said before, it is non-political program. It is not, the president has declared before that he has no party. His party is the whole population. And we as youth, this is a great opportunity for anyone to participate in. I would like to say about the presidential program, it is a prototype for the youth to go further and for any ministry to copy that at its internal infrastructure. As you know, just 500 every year is among 90 million is not a number, but it is just an idea, and the idea must be implemented by a prototype. And this is a prototype that we need to expand and we need to generalize everywhere, in every government, in every state, in every local infrastructure building that we need in Egypt.
Dr. Mohammed, do you see this as happening? I mean, you say it's a good prototype that should be implemented in different structures. Do you see initiatives to do this on the ground, or is it still just a wish or an aim?
There were many conferences about that. There were many meetings just to copy the idea. University of Kafr Sheikh, for example, our friends participated in that. Also, Cairo University has declared a similar program. Ministry of Youth has declared also a similar program, and the idea is, and we are happy to be batch one of this venture. That's a very great honor to be the prototype.
Sarah, Dr. Mohammed has said repeatedly that it's not just about politics, etc. But let me ask you, youth empowerment is important in every possible field, whether it's politics, socially, economically, etc. Political awareness, how much do you think political awareness, your political awareness personally, has improved or increased as part of this program?
It has been increased because of many reasons. For example, we participated in many workshops to discuss and find solutions for many political issues on the current situation. Plus, getting involved with the ministers and key persons makes you have great opinions and political. I want to say political opinion consists of not only what you see in the news, but you consisted from your mind and from your analysis to everything around you. You don't focus only in one thing, but you put all things together and you will get your solution.
Dr. Mohammed, the same question to you. Political awareness, was it key for you as taking part in this presidential leadership program?
Actually, I haven't looked into the political part. I am not interested in politics, but what I'm interested in about the policy of leadership. Because there are a lot of propagandists among us. They are just talk too much. They think they say leader. No, the leader is the one. Even a small client, even a small worker, he is a leader if he make his career and his job better day by day. And that's what we told. We are a leader. Leader is not by position. It is not making you a better person and making you affect more better to the whole surroundings among you.
You, in the simulation, played the role of the Minister of Higher Education. Is that correct? About education in Egypt, it's a very big file. It's a very big challenge, and it's key because at the end of the day, if there isn't reform in education, then the beginning is problematic. So imagine the whole route. So let me ask you, how do you assess the youth's role in finding solutions to the problems or challenges faced in the education sector? At the end of the day, you've just gone through all the possible education phases, and I'm sure you've come out with a better understanding. How do you think the youth can play a more pivotal role in improving their own education system?
Actually, we depend 100% on education. It's different outside, it's different abroad. It's just high school, and you should work if you want to go to college. You should work, you should have your own career. Before you prove yourself, you can educate. It's just we are hiring here, our most professions are by degrees. The more degrees you have, the more chance you get a job. And that's completely wrong. It's just you have to build yourself, you have to build your humanity before you are looking for education. And what I mean, it's by higher education. Basic education, it must be the main priority for everyone. But for higher education, no, it shouldn't be a priority. It should be complementary or a supplementary for you to prove that you deserve it. And it should be the general vision. You have to be dependable, and you have to prove yourself that you deserve this opportunity.
Absolutely. Sarah, the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that education shouldn't be limited to just knowledge and science, but should also include a morality clause.
Yes.
How do you think this goal can be fulfilled?
This can be fulfilled by not only depending on our government, but we as citizens should give our hands and learn and teach our children well how to deal, how to act, how to speak, and how to go through the street with respect of everyone is going. Morality can't be gained by only official people. It gained by the family, the Egyptian family, and in specific, the Egyptian woman.
I'd like to second that. And on that very positive note, Sarah Muhammad Ma'moon and Dr. Muhammad Awad Abdelaziz, we have run out of time, but I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today in this edition of Cairo Local Time. And thank you very much for all your insights, and best of luck with your leadership skills and your participation in the leadership program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up today's edition of Cairo Local Time. We do hope you have enjoyed it, and do join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. with another edition and a different crew. Till then, my name is Angie Meher. Many thanks for